Big development tonight in an alleged sexual assault case at the U.S. Naval Academy where a midshipman claims she was raped by 3 classmates, all members of the football team. A Navy official tells CNN that the Academy's superintendent, Vice Admiral Michael Miller, has ordered what's known as an Article 32 proceeding. A hearing will be held where evidence is presented to a military legal officer who will then decide if a court-martial is warranted. The decision was made by the superintendent after he reviewed an investigative report of the alleged incident. It's an important development for the midshipman who is speaking out tonight. She agreed to tell us her story as long as we conceal her identity. Heavily intoxicated at an off-campus party, this young midshipman, then 20 years old, remembers nothing of the alleged assault. And yet, the morning after, she says she knew something was terribly wrong. When did you realize something had happened?
The next day when I woke up, I noticed that I had bruises on my body, and I just didn't feel right. And then when I got back to school, I started to notice a lot of chatter on social media.
What kind of chatter on social media?
People were making really derogatory terms towards a female. I didn't know at the time that it was directed towards me. Just kind of bragging about the situation that had happened. I then began to inquire about the situation or, what had happened to myself. Then I came to the conclusion that these individuals were talking about me.
How did that feel?
It was devastating for me. It's a very small school. And at that point in time, I felt like my reputation was ruined forever. I had no clue what had happened, and I knew I would never consent to do these type of things.
Did you go see a doctor?
I did. Just for health reasons, I chose not to get a rape kit.
What was the thinking of not getting a rape kit?
I wanted nothing more than to the situation to go away. I felt like I was living a nightmare every single day, and it just couldn't end fast enough.
You really thought this was a matter of survival?
Yes.
You were scared for your safety?
Yes. And at that point in time, I had approached the administration on several times asking them about harassment. They couldn't guarantee me anything, and I feared that trying to pursue them on the harassment charges would only, if nothing happened, that it would infuriate them more.
Who was harassing you?
It was other members of the football team that were constantly making derogatory terms, kind of just, eyeing me down, little things like that, or making sexual gestures towards me, or constantly just making comments to people to my face.
She didn't report the alleged crimes to authorities for 8 months. Living in constant fear, she says the backlash might take a more violent turn. But word of the alleged attack spread across campus. A female student reported the alleged incident as a number of other students had, only this time, for the first time, the alleged victim's name was made public.
Someone came forward with my name, someone who hadn't been at the party. That's how large the situation had gotten. She had heard about it, and she felt compelled to go forward and let people know what she knew was going on.
But you didn't want to alert authorities?
I was scared. This is not the first time these type of situations have occurred at the Academy, nor do I think they'll be the last, unfortunately. But I was terrified because I saw what the victims went through, and just, not only the situation within itself, but everything that follows after.
And immediately after came charges, but not of an assault. School authorities first charged the female midshipman with underage drinking. 2 of the football players maintained the sex was consensual. The third pleaded the fifth. And without a report by the female midshipman, and with evidence scarce, her alleged attackers played out the season under a presumption of innocence. The case was closed by year's end with no charges brought, as the female midshipman watched infuriated and helpless.
Nothing was done in regards to my personal situation, and these individuals were still on track to graduate and become commissioned officers.
Did it surprise you that they waited until after football season to discipline them?
Did it surprise me? No. Did I think it was right? Absolutely not. I was suspended from a lot of things. It hurt me as far as seeking counseling because I had lost privileges. The administration was having problems commuting me back and forth to get to my counseling, so I just ended up, I couldn't go anymore. So it just caused a downward spiral of a lot of events.
In January, she says she finally decided to tell all she knew to Navy investigators, though to her it was frustrating to start the process all over again.
I can't, speak on an official capacity, but that's like kind of what hurt me and why I kind of had lost faith in the chain of command.
Why did you want to be in the military in the first place?
This is kind of cliche, but I love my country. My family is all served on the enlisted side. I thought it was a great opportunity to serve. I had wanted, I'm the first one in my family to go to college. This is something that I always wanted. And I still hold true. I think that there are some problems, but I hope that these things can get fixed. But I do still want to serve my country.
By the way, I did ask the midshipman why she wanted us to conceal her face, and she says it's because while many at the academy know who she is and know the story, not all of her family and friends know her story, and she doesn't want the story that she's telling to define her and her career moving forward.